Okay, so when you engage with a realtor in North Carolina, the North Carolina Real Estate Commission wants you to know how realtors work in North Carolina because they are different in every state. So there's a disclosure that your realtor or whoever you're meeting with, even if it's just a showing, is going to be required to show you. So I wanted to go through what it says briefly because people are more likely to watch a video than read something. So there's one for buyers and there's one for sellers. What it goes through is, everybody knows, if you're a buyer, you're probably going to have a buyer's agent. If you're a seller, you're going to have a listing agent. What we need to talk about is, can that person represent two parties? What happens when both of those agents are underneath the same umbrella, like RE/MAX, or for me, Next Home? Why should you care? So this goes through all the situations. What I want to talk about is something called dual agency. So this is the agent, right? This is the agent. And let's say they're the listing agent. Listing agent, you the buyer, you call. So they represent the seller. I'm reading handwriting, they represent the seller. So the listing agent represents the seller, but you call the listing agent. As a buyer, they show you the house, you love it, you're ready to write an offer, you don't care, you've done this before. The listing agent could be a dual agent. That means they represent both parties. You're like, what? Well, they're not representing me, I'm just a buyer. This is where you have to be clear. As the seller, if you want representation, you need that listing agent to not be able to be a dual agent. As an individual, this is going to change when we talk about the company, but as an individual, why would you use the same agent? If the buyer uses the same agent as the seller, that limits what the listing agent can do. It kind of neuters them, to use my colleague Peter's language. They're just the middleman, and so they can't really advise. So the buyer, what should I do? What should I offer? What should I ask for repairs? They say, tell me what you want, and I'll tell the seller. So they're just a middleman. So I personally don't advise that. A lot of new construction, I think people do this because they just think it's just like CarMax. You're just ordering the car, there's no negotiation, which is wrong. But if you're a buyer, you need your own agent. So when the individual agent is representing both parties, that's dual agency individual. Now, it is possible for the seller to still have representation and for the buyer to be unrepresented. That's a clarification that the listing agent should make at the time of all the discussions happening. So that's dual agency as an individual. Now it gets complicated because now we're going to add the company to it. So now we're going to add the company. There's a listing agent and a BA buyer's agent, right? So now the listing agent is Next Home and you hire me and I'm your buyer's agent. And we're both with Next Home because the company is up here. That's fine. I see nothing wrong with that because you each have your own representation. The company has more liability because either way, they're representing both parties. But what's most important is that you personally have someone to talk to and someone who's your confidant and is giving you advice. And in the company, there's always someone separate up here to escalate things to if for any reason you're unhappy. So designated dual agency is the lingo here. Designated dual agency because each person, the buyer and the seller, have their own designated agent. It just happens to be under the same umbrella. Designated good, straight dual agency as an individual, I don't like it. So those are the questions you should be asking when you're presented with this form. Does the agent practice dual agency individually? What is your preference? Think about what you want in terms of service from your agent. Thank you.